Hi everybody, it's Mel here. Welcome back once again to the channel. As you may or may not know, I'm currently living and travelling in this self-converted van, which at the moment is situated in Italy, very close to Tuscany somewhere. So as you guys may have seen in the vlog I put up a couple of weeks ago, I think it was the campsite living vlog, I was telling you guys about ending up in hospital because my body does not take too kindly to being eaten alive by mosquitoes, as does many others. I come up in like big hives, it's pretty horrible, and I also had a spider bite which meant I had to go get a tetanus shot. It was a nightmare. So since then I decided I don't want to get in that position again, and I have really strengthened my defenses, I guess you could say, against all those little creepy crawlies and mosquitoes and things that bite you in the night and the day sometimes. So today I thought I would share with you guys how to stop all the bugs and creepy crawlies from biting you, and most importantly for keeping them out of your van. But before we dive into the video, I just wanted to let you guys know that I'm currently working on a little series that I just wanted to get your guys' opinion to see if you'd be interested in it. Basically on our travels now we have lived in or passed through like 14 different countries, and what I thought might be interesting to some of you guys is, instead of just doing the usual like van life vlog, here I am in such and such place, I thought I would kind of give you guys a little bit more knowledge about what it's actually like to live and travel in those countries. Things like what the fuel costs like, gas, is food cheap, where to shop, as well as some little like vlog footage of what sights and scenery there is that we've seen. If you would be interested in that, do give this video a thumbs up and let me know. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future videos. So tip number one is to use a mosquito repellent. This one protects you against mosquitoes and other flying insects. Now this one, I don't know if it's the best in the world, but I'm pretty funny about putting like chemicals and stuff on my body. I just prefer to try and do things a little bit more naturally, so I did pick this one up, but it does work well. I actually forgot to use it for ages and got eaten alive, but it does work whenever you actually use it, and it is called, if my camera will focus, there we go, Mosquito Guard. And as you guys can see, this is literally all the ingredients in the front, so I'll read them out for you. It's citronella oil, lemongrass oil, geranium oil, peppermint oil, and yeah, just some other bits and bobs. There's a little bit of alcohol in it, which isn't the best, and castor oil, but it's probably one of the most natural repellents that actually works from your skin. If you guys want to check this one out and try it out, I will leave a link in the description box below, and I'll try and link everything else that I mentioned just in case you want to nab it up and use it too. Now my second tip is probably one of the most obvious if you're living in a camper van or living in a van that you've just done. You may see all those beautiful Instagram pictures where people have the back doors open and this lovely clear view, and yeah, that's just going to not end up very well if you want to keep bugs and insects out of your van. I actually made insect nets for my van. Now these insect nets that I got, they keep most of the bugs out, they keep wasps out, which try to find a way in most of the time, they keep bigger mosquitoes out, and they generally just do keep most bugs out. The only problem is I think the holes in this net are slightly too big, and it's letting smaller mosquitoes and smaller flies into the van. I let you guys know how to deal with those as well in this video. So what I think I'll do whenever I get home is slightly upgrade my net system and make it more no-seam nets, which you can find online. I will link these ones that I did use below. I basically got magic nets that were from Amazon, and I think magic mesh or something they were called, and I basically sewed two of them together so that they were wide enough to fit across the doors, both the front and back, and then I just kind of folded up the bottom part because they obviously fit a full-length door and van doors are a lot shorter. But yeah, I stitched those together. I think when I get back I'm going to try and rethink how to do it with the thinner net material. I think I thought about it before I left, but that stuff can be hard to work with, but I'm gonna have to figure out a different system because all those little tiny flies and midges, as we call them in Northern Ireland, can still get through if the doors are open, and especially if the light's on, it'll attract them. But again, I have another tip for that. I will come back with you guys that later. Tip number 3 is to use a citronella candle. So this one's actually coconut and citronella. What I do is I set it on my stove, which is really near the door, and I'll light this if it seems like there's a lot of flies and midges about. Citronella is a well-known insect repellent. It's why you'll find in outdoor sections in home stores and hardware stores, you'll see all citronella products. It's a really good repellent. So like I say, I will light this, my little air vent's just above my cooker, so I'm not too worried about flames and stuff. Do be careful if you're lighting a candle like this inside a van. Obviously a lot of the materials inside a van are very flammable, so just be careful where you're placing it and how high you're placing it towards the roof. all that kind of thing. We haven't had a problem with this one. I've used it a good bit actually. If I can find this online again, I'll link it in the description box and you guys can check it out. And on to tip number 3. This is one of my favorite tips and one that I definitely think works the most. I at home love burning incense. I love the woody smell of incense, and I picked up these two back at home, which are both useful at repelling insects, mosquitoes, bugs, all kinds of creepy crawlies. Natural lavender is known as a really good insect repellent. Surprisingly, it was surprising to me. And citronella, as I've just talked about, is also one. So I got these two, which I have been burning quite a bit. I've actually ran through the lot of it. I think I have one stick left to use and then I'm going to have to replace these. But yeah, incense again, I keep it near the door, or I'll put it sometimes in the middle little box. If you've seen the banter, you'll see that little like middle bit where my mirror is. I'll link the banter below if you haven't checked it out. But yeah, I'll leave incense burning there and it'll just spread through the whole van and give it that really nice smoky smell. Again, safety thing with incense though is obviously it lets off a lot of smoke, so do make sure you have some kind of ventilation. Like if you have a window in your van, open the window or crack the door a little bit just so it doesn't get too smoky, because it wouldn't be very good for you. But yeah, it tends to work pretty well at repelling the bugs, and like I said, I've gone through 2 boxes of incense so far and need to pick up another couple of boxes, so I'm going to do that soon. And I just burn it on this little simple like circle thing. It just sticks the incense in and burn it. Tip number 5 is my ultimate best favorite tip if you're trying to keep mosquitoes especially out of the van. Smaller insects too. Flies can be a little bit annoying to get with this, but it works really effectively for everything else. And it's to pick yourself up one of these electric bug bats. Now these things are absolute beast. This one I actually have like, look, it's got like a full torch on it and everything. So you just flick it up and it becomes electrified and you can blast mosquitoes to the hell in which they spawn from. Now my first one of this I actually picked up at home. I think I got it in Lidl back at home, and it was a much smaller bat. I definitely think it was a lot smaller than this and it wasn't quite as powerful, but it worked really efficiently. I just happened to, I think I left it somewhere in the van loose, which is just a nightmare when you're driving. It got loose, broke, the batteries fell out, the inside fell out, the whole thing just didn't work, and I ended up, as you guys know, I'm obsessed with duct tape. More on that in a second. For the meantime, until I could get a new bat, I like wrapped duct tape around the outside of it so the sticky side was up, and that was my bug net for a little while, but it didn't work very well. If you follow me on Instagram, you may or may not have seen that whenever it happened. We actually came across this one randomly. I think we were looking for some screws for something. I think we were doing a little bit of upgrade, and in the hardware store, lo and behold, I found this absolute beast of a bat. Literally when you salt the mosquitoes, it fries them. One of the best ways of using this is if you can try and see where they land. They tend to like to land on the nets weirdly. I think it's because they can hold into them if they manage to get through them, and you literally just like place this on the outside of the net, turn it on, and it will literally like crisp them, like they explode. And then they tend to stick in the bat and you can just tap it outside and they be gone, mosquito no more. So before you go anywhere in your van, definitely try and get yourself one of those electrified bats. Again, I will make a link in the description box to one that I think is effective and useful. If you guys want to check it out, it is my number one. Like, you must leave with one of those. Whenever we actually met up with an Australian couple who we met in Amsterdam, we met up with them in Italy, and we got them one of these bats because they're so effective and so useful. And they sent us like some little Instagram stories of them using it. Like, the things are absolutely amazing. They really work on all the bugs and creepy crawlies that manage to slip through your other defenses. And just as a little bonus tip at the end, there's sometimes at night you kind of forget yourself. You'll be outside enjoying yourself, realize you've left the light on, and all those little teeny tiny flies make their way into the van that are attracted to the light. You can of course use the bat on those, but sometimes there's like a good few of them. They just make their way into the van. And what you can do sometimes is put like little strips of duct tape. Again, I love duct tape. Do not leave without a roll of duct tape. If you just hang them beside your lights, basically all the little flies will be attracted to the light, and the light reflects off the inside white of the duct tape, and they will all just stick to it. And you can just fold it up and and throw them in the bin rather than running around all night trying to squish all these little flies and tiny little insects that have made their way into the van. So I hope you guys found these tips useful. Let me know if there's anything that I haven't talked about that you do to keep little bugs and insects out of your van or house. Let me know in the comments any new tips and tricks, or if there's anything that you're going to start implementing from the video into your van life or into your home. Let me know about that too. And like I said at the beginning, let me know if you're interested in that van life in the different countries series. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I always really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys on the next upload. Thanks guys, bye.
I'll raise a glass to you, and you'll raise a glass to me, and when they're half full, we'll top them up with whiskey.